¿Cómo están, Panditos? Peter Von Panda here. Just received a watch I'm excited about. Obviously, it's a Citizen. This is a brand new watch, not only new to me, but it's new to the market. This is the Citizen Promaster Altichron. You've probably seen a few videos on it from various watch stores or from a review at Basel World 2013. But here it is in all its glory. First time I've seen it. And it's pretty awesome. I can tell you, packaging is standard Citizen. This watch is called the Altichron because it's got a built-in altimeter, which you can see here, the sensor on the side. It's also got a compass, which would be this red button up here, the orange button, referring to the orange hand, and the altimeter, which would be this yellowish green, referring to this one. But the obviously the altimeter uses 3 of the hands. This little subdial here will show you in tens of thousands the feet. This one will show you in hundreds, or I think the orange one shows you, looks like in this inner dial, individual thousands, and then this one will show you within the 1,000 to 25 feet. So it uses this outer dial, 100, 200, so on up to 1,000. So you kind of step up through those measurements to get your exact height. A couple things I'm going to throw out here about this is a liquid rubber strap. I'm not sure if that refers to the way they make it, but it's supposed to be a really soft rubber, and I can tell you it is. It's really, really pliable. There's nothing really hard about it. I actually pulled out a couple watches because I was going to do a little comparison. This is a Tough Solar by Casio, and I can tell you that the plastic on this is much more of a rigid type of plastic. So this soft, or this liquid rubber, definitely kind of lives up to its billing. I'm not sure if they call it that because it's actually formed from a liquid into a mold, but I know that on another Citizen model, I think there are some titanium bits inside the rubber, so I think they kind of pour liquid rubber onto it. So I'm just guessing, and I may totally be wrong, but I'm definitely an idiot. So take that for what it's worth. The case here is titanium, I believe, with the Citizen Duratect coating, which makes it harder. I'm assuming it's some sort of like clear coat. It's got a little bit of a matte finish, but it looks nice. I'm actually a little surprised that they needed to put a kind of a coat of protectant on to titanium at all, but I like more protection is better than less. And I can also tell you that the face of this is supposedly 49.5 millimeters, and I'm not sure if that entirely includes kind of the pressure sensor on the side or not, but this watch doesn't, if you were to hand it to me, I wouldn't have guessed it's almost 50 millimeters. On this end, I grabbed my Urcraft Big World watch, which is a 50 millimeter case, and if you hold them, if I'm looking at them next to each other, this one just feels a lot bigger. And there's a couple reasons it is slightly bigger, but it also has, the case here is straight up and down. It doesn't have kind of this beveled edge or this rounded edge, which kind of makes this, the dog loves watches, this case feel a little smaller, but they are supposed to be about the same size. In terms of how they look, this Aircraft is probably one of the biggest watches I have, next to my Diesel 7258, but it doesn't look overly big. People will sometimes comment, wow, that is a big watch, but in terms of wearing it, when I wear the Diesels, a lot of people will be like, wow, that's a big watch. When I wear this, some people will be like, oh, that's a pretty big watch. This, if I put it on my wrist, I don't think anyone would say anything about the size. A couple things that I really like on this is just the fact that there is a lot of 3-dimension. I know that there's another version of this coming out a little higher end, the Citizen Promaster Altichron Cirrus, I believe, which has even more levels to the face. But as you can see, it has a really steep angled outer bevel, which I believe should turn here. Hey, doggy, yeah, I'll sure show you the watch in a second. So you unscrew it here, and then I guess it pops out, and then I can move the outer bezel. I'm just going to leave it in that position, but it's very deep. It's got a really steep angle and adds a lot of it shows a lot of depth to the face, so it doesn't feel like the face or the dial is right up against the crystal. It's actually it's set in there. And then the inner portion of that the face is just stepped down even a little more, like about 1 millimeter. So it's kind of got this nice tiered three-dimensional shape, which I really dug. I also like the contrasting colors here, and it looks like, I mean, obviously with an altimeter it's going to be kind of a watch probably more for mountain climbers or pilots. And it's definitely got that pilot feel. I'm going to hit the compass button and see what happens. And it looks like it does. Okay, there it goes. It does orient itself to north, and it's working on getting there again. So that's cool. I think if I hit it again, it'll turn off. And then if I hit the altimeter button, what I've noticed here is that this subdial is also your power reserve indicator. So there go all the hands. But it's showing that we're essentially at sea level. So it's going back to 0 there. But when I turn off the altimeter, everything should reset. This will go back and show me power reserve. So where it's at the bottom is 0, and at the top is basically completely full. Power reserve, of course, refers to the Citizen Echo Drive. I told you dogs love watches. Because the cool thing about this is it doesn't need a battery. It does have a battery, but it doesn't need a replacement battery like typical quartz watch. It's solar powered. That's really one of the reasons I got this. I like the two things. One, I can take this out on a camping trip, a backpacking trip, not have to worry about the battery dying on me. And then I also have a compass, and it's an analog compass that is really useful sometimes when you're out on a hike. And the reason I pulled these two watches out for comparison is that I really feel like this watch kind of splits the difference between a more formal watch like this and clearly a much sportier, lower end, something like a G-Shock that's perfect for going around and knocking around on high impact activities, but doesn't quite cut the mustard when you're going out in public, a day out with a family maybe, or going to work and things like that, that maybe looks just a little bit too casual without being quite as ostentatious or in your face formal like this. This is something you could wear out to a day to the farmer's market and then go out to dinner. I just kind of like that it split the difference a little bit. It's definitely a sport watch, kind of an outdoorsman's watch, but it's pretty finely crafted in terms of that typical Citizen Promaster style. It looks good and is obviously pretty high end. Pretty light watch. I'm really excited about it. As you can probably know, this watch is about $850. There are two versions. This one I have is in English, and then there's standard, and then the other one is in metric. So this has everything in feet, and then there's another version, a different model number, that has everything in meters. So keep that in mind if you're looking at it. The Citizen Altichron Cirrus is a watch that I think really looks gorgeous in pictures. I would love to see that in person and find out a little bit more about it, because that's even a little bigger. I believe at 50 millimeters or 50.5 millimeters, so interested in checking that one out too. But in terms of watches, I'm really excited to put this one on, wear it out, and then kind of keep myself from having to switch watches depending on different occasions. Citizen Promaster Altichron, brand new for November 2013. Check it out. Panda out.